Well, hello there. Thank you so much for stopping by the Rocky Road TV. This time we're going to be reading and reflecting on the creation of the world and the alien man, and it's part 2. So if you missed part 1, you might want to go back, but this is part 2. Again, thank you for stopping by. This is your time to like and share. And make sure you're in these comments letting me know what you think. What you think about the reflections. What do you have to add? What messages are you getting? What should we be talking about coming up in the future? This is your time to do all of that. Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming on here. Today we'll be reading the other Bible. We're going to be talking about the creation of the world and the alien man. This is part 2. I've already filled up part 1. Hopefully this one will go by a little smoother than the last one did. Creation of the world and the alien man part 2. Now I want to be clear about this. I truly believe that our journey here on earth, I really believe that in some regards we take it too serious. I think that the spirit and the soul really knows, the soul knows what's going on. I believe because of the veil, so that we will operate and function in these avatars like we should. There will be no need for them if we were just in our pre-existing state. Information, there's a lot of stuff that's just put here. I mean, think about it. If we're going to refer to this as a matrix, right, or simulation, let's say that, you got to have shit there. You got to have stuff going on to play out storylines for people to live. All books play their part in a storyline. Let's just say that. And so I like reading this book because it's not one that people often talk about, and I figure that we can translate and see what's going on or have some kind of thought-provoking dialogue based off these texts. I don't think it should be taken literally, but I also don't think it should be fully dismissed. I will say that. So with that explanation, and I'll further explain to say I have on this hood because I felt like I should cover my hair. I did. I felt like I should cover my head today, and I'm doing that. And plus, it's cold outside, and not that it's cold in here because we have heat. It's just it just makes me want to bundle up. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you. That weather is ridiculous. It's like 4 degrees outside or something like that. So yeah, basically, my little hair wrap, I'm washing it, and I didn't feel like tying that other hook up on around my head and doing all that stuff. I don't feel like tying it up on my shoulder like a continental soldier today. I just wanted to put my hood on because I got on the hoodie. And I got these glasses on because we about to get into it. And they're not reading glasses, I can see. And no disrespect to those who cannot see. All right, so let's pick up where we left off. Before all the worlds came into being, there was this great fruit. When the great fruit, the great king of light came into existence. Let me read that one more time. When the great fruit was in the great fruit, the great king of light came into existence. From the great and glorious king of light, the great ether of radiance came into being. From the great ether of radiance, the living fire was brought into being. From the living fire, the light came into being. Boom, bow. By the power of the king of light, life was brought into being in the great fruit. The great fruit was brought into being, and in the Jordan was brought into being. The great Jordan was brought into being. There came into being the living water. I know it reads very interestingly. Just roll with it. The radiant and resplendent water was brought into being, and from the living water, the life, was brought into being. The radiant and the resplendent water was brought into being, and from the living water, the life, was brought into being. Life through water. That's why Christians do the baptismal, because they believe there's a rebirth through water. That's just symbolism that they do. It's a ritual. Newsflash. A ritual is a ritual. Y'all think, well, ours is the right ritual. Yours is satanic. It's a ritual, honey. However you want to feel superior in the game. If that's what you need, fuck it. But it's a ritual. The life was brought into being, and then all the uterus were brought into being. So when you already have life in the being, everything else exists. It just is going to stem from that. It's going to sprout into other things. things. The source, the creation is present. So everything else. So now we hit in the world of darkness. When I stood in the house of life, I beheld the rebellious. I beheld the gates of darkness. I beheld the depths full of darkness. I beheld the destructive and the lords of the gloomy abode. I beheld like warriors who are buried in darkness. I beheld the gates of fire, how they burn and glow. The wicked burn and glow, and deliver it on imperfection and deficiency. The wicked burn and grow and glow. It seems that way even today, doesn't it? But metaphorically. The wicked burn and glow and deliberate on imperfection and deficiency. Let's get a little further into that. I'm using wicked loosely. Okay. So when we see people that we think are wicked to our perception, they are doing the devil's work. And look at them. They happen to do it right in front of our face. The nerve. More than often, we just don't understand. And maybe if we understood, we still wouldn't understand because we wouldn't accept that for what it is. However you want to put it, or look at it rather. When these people are being, as you perceive, wicked, which according to TikTok is a lot of people in entertainment, and I'm not denying it. I'm just not confirming it. Possible deniability, objectivity. That's what we doing today. So we label the stuff and then they always got some stuff going on. They always got some craziness going on. And then we be questioning them like, are these good people? We go through a few weeks of that. We're like, hey, can you believe he did that? I mean, he should know better. I mean, he's got these contracts on the line. He's got all of that jazz. We go through this constantly. So they're burning in front of our faces, metaphorically. But they also glow. They're everywhere. They're glowing all over our timelines. Look at that. And we give it energy. And then we get mad that it persists, but we constantly give it our energy. We give our energy by clicking on it, talking about it, looking at it, sharing it, making videos about it, whatever the fuck. We are giving it a lot of energy. And we tend to do that for stuff we really don't care for. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that's the biggest lesson of it all. Stop giving shit attention that you really don't like and don't want into your life, because when you feed it, it's going to come back. I tell you what, let me make this simple. This is how, drama and hell and discomfort and inconvenience, let's label them wildlife. Let's label them wildlife, okay? Let's label energy food. Right. You're paying attention about it, posting about it, talking about it, sharing it, making videos, all that stuff. That's food. Okay, so when you as a person go out and you feed wildlife, don't the wildlife come back? Because they want more food, right? I mean, shit, you giving it to me. I ain't got to pay for it. I don't have to hunt for it. I don't have to be looking out. Hell, you handed it to me. And everything takes the path of least resistance. So you keep feeding that fucking wildlife. They going to be on your front porch knocking on your door. They want their meal. You giving it, I'm taking it. That's exactly how we are when it comes to shit we don't like. We steady giving it food as if that makes it go away. No, it makes it grow. And the food is our energy. And they deliberate on imperfection and deficiency. And again, so that's metaphorically. They are deliberate with the sexualization of women. They're deliberate with the demeaning of men. They're deliberate with all the shit that we see. All the program is very deliberate. And the deficiency, the degeneracy, and all of that stuff is that of which they parade. I hope I'm making sense. And look, to be objective though, you do have to look at it like this. Everybody has a role. They have a role to play. And you might not like their role to play. And you have that right not to like their role that they play. But no, everybody has a role, and that's the role they playing. So your job is just to accept it. And you play your game accordingly. So if I don't like it, it won't be burning and glowing in front of me, baby. Because I'm not. And I don't want your imperfection and your deficiency, your degeneracy, your disrespectfulness, your degrading, belittling, all of that, that's just, we don't need it. We don't need it. Let's move forward. I beheld Huath, the female, how she speaks in the darkness in malice. She speaks in malice, in witchcraft and sorcery, which she practices. She speaks with illusory wisdom. Now, in witchcraft, that's how people look at us today. The people The real people that's just coming forward trying to show information just to help you evolve. People look at them, look at their witchcraft, their sorcery. What is that she's talking? That's demonic. That's how we look at it today. Poetic justice, ain't it? She speaks with illusory wisdom and sits enthroned in falsehood. Don't we be confused and deluded and everything else? You be like, why is that person? Because they delusional. Yeah, it's telling you, ooh. I beheld the gates of darkness and the arteries of the earth, sinuous, just as they are there. Now, to a lot of us, we might be feeling like we live in the gate of darkness because of the activities that we view. Well, maybe we are. Maybe we aren't. But it's your perception, nonetheless. I beheld the black water in it, which rose up, boiled, and bubbled. Whoever enters there dies, and whoever beholds it is scorched. If you behold it, you are tarnished. It is left a mark on you. Just beholding it. It doesn't have to ruin you, but it affects you. There's a lot of people that let some of these things take them up out of here. I beheld the dragons who were hurled there and writhed about. I beheld dragons, every type and every kind. I beheld the chariots of the sons of darkness. We're going to stop right there. We need to be able to continue next time.